The sheep are on fire. The sheep are on fire. This is TAFAD TAN. Welcome to TAFAD TAN. I'm going to say Dzień dobry, which is good morning, but it is afternoon. But you can use Dzień dobry as afternoon. It is Polish. This is TAFAD TAN, and I am here with, on my right, we have the one and only, can you bring your coconut in? Flap sandwich. We also have Maximilius, the philosopher.
Punting his merchandise.
And we have live and direct from the band Clusterfuck, right? We have in the studio Jabz.
MC Jabz.
MC Jabz.
Yo.
In the area. And this is TAFAD TAN. And I am Ninja. Ninja Pendragon. A drug, a snake, a drag, the NOE, Aldrich Anthony, and Dragon Adui. And we are in the castle, the famous Cardiff Castle. And the day's quite mild. How are you feeling today, Jabz?
Yeah, not bad. Same old, up and down.
And Maximilius, how are you feeling?
I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, perfectly sane as usual. Don't worry. Yeah, I have to pass that around. I think.
Yeah.
It's a bit directional.
And how are you feeling today, Flaps?
I'm feeling fine, baby.
Okie dokie. So we got Jabz in the studio. Yeah, and Jabz, how did you get here?
I drove down from Swansea.
From Swansea. So big up the Swansea Massive. And Jabz, how long have you been on the planet?
35 years now.
And how is the...
Oh yeah, I was born without a top of my head as well.
You was born without
the top of my head.
There you go, stay now.
You were born without the top on your head. So how long have you been emceeing now?
I started rapping as like 11 years old. So I haven't really stopped, so about 24 years now. Writing lyrics, things like that. But it all went a lot better working with Clusterfuck.
Clusterfuck.
Got some really good shows in. And it was a good time. Good time to be an MC.
So tell us, mate, what first inspires you to get into the MCing or rapping?
Family mainly. He's my cousin. He's a bit older than me, so he found out what hip hop was. I was just into like random, crazy songs, like nothing in particular. Saying I used to fall asleep to hardcore. That was like my main thing. Used to be my lullabies. But yeah, he was rapping, and I was like, that's pretty good. So he helped me start writing lyrics and stuff. And it just went from there then.
And what's your cousin's name?
Wes Cruz.
Big up Wes Cruz, yeah. The inspirer to famous Jabz here from Clusterfuck. Yeah, and then who was other artists that inspired you? Did you like?
Well, being nearly 20 odd years ago now is, you know, it's nothing like today's music. You know, everyone's got their own version of old school. But my main focus point, I guess you could say, with lyrics is Tupac. You know, a legend, like. But yeah, he was great with his lyrics. But then, because of how much love I had for him, you know, you hated people like Biggie and stuff, even though I hadn't heard of him at the time. I was like, yeah, fuck Biggie. And there's Chino XL, you know, Tupac didn't like him, but these rappers I found out about a few years later, and they're really, really good lyricists. Like Chino XL is really good with his lyrics, and obviously, you know, we all know Biggie is. But yeah, I kind of missed out on that type of thing just because of the love I had at the time for Tupac. I was like a 14, 15-year-old little fanboy. But yeah, obviously music broadens the mind, and yeah, I just started liking Biggie a couple of years later. But yeah, it's mainly that genre and that time frame.
And where were you living around that?
Well, I moved up to Swansea when I was like 5. I was born in Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Moved up here when I was like 5, 6 years old, and yeah, I've just been up here since then.
So you were a Manchester United fan? Were you?
At that age, I was, yeah. But my stepfather, he was a City fan, so after like a couple of years, I ended up being a City fan. But that was just through bribery. Like 8 years old in the pub, he'd give me £1 for City for the day. And but I've never been a big football fan. More into basketball. I used to like playing football, but watching it is kind of like it used to make me fall asleep after 40 minutes or so.
That's what I found as well. Participate.
The chants as well. It's kind of hypnotic. It's like dozing off.
Yeah, participate, be a part of what's going on, play the game. Because I used to, fall asleep as well, watching it, especially if the match was boring.
Yeah.
And then, so you moved from Manchester to
straight to
Swansea. And how did you find that? How did you find growing up in Swansea?
Because I was so young, I got vague memories of first moving up here, but what I don't remember starting, I just remember happening, was I used to speak to my friends like this in a Welsh accent. I go to school, go out to play, and I'd be speaking like this, and then I'd go home, and then I'd speak to my parents like this in a Manchester accent. And I can never remember why I decided to do it. I just always remember doing it until the age was like 15. I was like, why am I doing this, So I just stuck with my original accent. Funny thing was, though, in school, when people found out I was English, they'd like, oh, speak in your English accent, speak in your English accent. And then when I stuck with my English accent, I moved to Manchester again. I was like 16 for a year or two. Came back, seeing all my old type of school friends and that. And the tables had changed then, so like, speak in your Welsh accent, speak in your Welsh accent. And you just never win. What's another mad thing was, when I was in school, I was the only one who rapped. I was like the only rapper in school at the time. Whereas in schools these days, you can find hundreds.
Everyone's out there, isn't it?
Can you remember the first rap you made?
I can remember one of the worst raps I made.
Come on,
Jabz.
I can only remember a couple of lines, but this was like literally the first year or two, and it's really, really Americanized type of stuff, even to the point of using an American accent. We just didn't realize I was doing it. It's just, that's what it was. I was just copying the rappers. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you might recognize the first lyric, especially. But something like, jump up, pack it in, let me begin. It's me, JB, with my juice and gin, with an AK and a Glock, sitting on the block. I'm getting high, waiting on a drive-by. Class lyrics, man.
Could have fucking been a writer there.
I think I'll have to sort myself out and do a little bit of my modern stuff now, just so they don't. That's all they know. So I'll just do another quick bit.
Go for it, mate.
I'm a menace on the mic. You're making tenors down the terrace, giving hand jobs in the night. I make you jealous without a fight, and my contentious way of life presents no abstinence from the hype. I go all night, I'm in the A class. Try and fight push, go and get, go get and drop and Silio, go. You can't say that. I'm the wordsmith that can spray that. Make turd shift in the pants of your main cat.
Wicked Jabz. I love the way you fire.
Cheers,
I love the way you fire your M-Tech, man. My gosh. Infrared pan them head. So when did you join your first group? When did you come together with other people?
I kind of left, like I said, when I left Wales, I was like 15, 16. I was kind of on my own at the time. I met a kid in Manchester who was into garage MC, and we used to listen to all like the underground stations and stuff. But me and him had a little thing going on where we'd like, I don't know how we managed to get it. It was like, because my dad was working with like youth centres and stuff, we managed to get gigs, just DJ gigs and stuff. So we just like playing a bit of music and spit a couple of lyrics, nothing like, proper, just having a laugh. But that luckily there was no phones, like camera phones and stuff about then, because I'm pretty sure I was fucking shit then as well. It was all the learning process. The Then I moved back to Wales, and again, second stage in my life, I hadn't seen my cousin for about a year or two, and he'd met this kid, and they'd got right into their UK hip hop. So that's when I started finding my way, and they showed me like Task Force and things like that, really good UK hip hop. And so I started using my own voice and, you know, realizing what I'm actually doing and flows, and because it's not all just about rhyming and things, is it, you know? But yeah, the three of us had a little group together called Hazardous Hip Hop in Swansea.
Excellent.
So we were like literally making beats on the PlayStation 1, you know, on a computer game. But it's brilliant, like all the samples and stuff like from films, and you cut all these little bits up and you can stick them on the PlayStation. It was good times.
And what was your first, you know, when you performed in front of an audience, what was that like? Was it frightening? How did you feel?
Funny enough, the first time it happened was in school. Like I said, I was the only one who rapped, and we had to do a project. And everyone else was doing this project, and I said, "Oh, I'll just write a rap about it and perform that." And they're like, "Yeah, all right then." So there's like 100 or 200 kids in the hall. I was a bit nerve-wracking, but I was a kid, so you don't really feel. Well, I didn't feel too many nerves as a kid. You know, you got all the confidence in the world, don't you, when you don't know what's coming. But yeah, I'd say I'd done freestyle battles in the Monkey Bar. You know, I had some really, really good times. My thing used to be imitation, so I'd copy people, like their flow. Like I had a Rastafari doing a Jamaican rap, but I can't remember his name now, but he's known in Swansea. He's had like an American type of flow, but he'd also do like the Jamaican type of flow as well. So it was either or. You just never knew. But this particular night, he come at me with the Jamaican flow, and when it was my turn to go, I'd done the same thing back to him. And when it was his second go, he was just he didn't have nothing. He just couldn't come out with anything. So that's one time, and another time was like I told you, I used to do the Welsh accent without realizing it. There's this one boy, so born in Swansea, raised in Swansea, who was on the stage doing this freestyle battle, talking about Jackland and all that. And this guy's like, "Oh, he's claiming Swansea and he's English, listening to him, the English bastard," and all this he was saying to me. So then he started rapping in an American accent, which was like 10 years ago, that's what I was like. You know, I was way above him in skill level. So I was just laughing all the way through his verse. And when it come to my second goal, then I was like, "Oh, this guy's claiming he's Welsh. Do you want me to do him in his own accent?" I just peeled off this perfect Welsh freestyle. Yeah, but a few times I've done that in a Monkey Bar. And my cousin Wes as well, he was there. He got to the final a few times as well and won a couple. But
you dealt with that guy. You dealt with him.
Yeah, it's a small club, but it was still full, you know, to back walls most of the time. But proper performances, that's come via Clusterfuck.
Oh my gosh, brilliant! So there was a lot of support for the rapping and these events that was put on.
Yeah, it was quite lucky, like I say, at that time, late teens it was, when the Monkey Bar started doing these freestyle battles and things like that. We were really lucky part with the timeline. Then I just kind of went off the scene for a good few years, having kids and stuff. Just kind of lost touch with everybody, and came back on the scene about 6 years ago, and then a year later, was part of the band.
So how did you meet to become Clusterfuck?
Well, basically, Flappy was already in a band, wasn't he? And one of my other friends was helping manage it or helping get gigs and things. And then when that finished, they had this idea to start this band Clusterfuck. It had already been started before I'd even known about it. It was like a good year or so into it. A couple of videos on YouTube. Like the plan was there, the outline was there. And me and Shaggy, my mate, we were only asked originally to rap on one of the songs just to add a bit of flavour, because with Clusterfuck we do a lot of features, and it just kind of brightens things up, you know, makes things different, and it's good. But yeah, originally we were supposed to just write a rap for this song. We chose smartphones before it was smartphones. We were going to do back and forth on that, and then we got a song called Fear, and I heard that beat, and I just wrote a 16 bar to it, showed Sheep and Flappy, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we need to just go with this one instead."
Give us a taste of that one. Can you remember?
I write my raps to a boom box and a boom bap that I attack like a maniac, make you react insanely cracked. It's mainly facts from the strangely manky jack. I ain't failing that.
Fuck. We're here with Jabz, the original. My gosh.
We wrote that, got that performed. That got played on BBC Wales, didn't it?
Yeah.
And
BBC Wales.
yeah, we just decided to join a band from there. Shaggy started doing some rapping and playing guitar, and I was like main rapper, and Hester Sen was main singer. But yeah, we had a good flow together, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a good little project. Man.
Excellent. Are you going to give us one of your raps, one of your poetry? Can you choose one?
Well,
Have a look in the.
I don't know. Maybe Jabz could rap the poem.
I can beatbox it while you.
Well, okay, okay, it's not a rap though. It's yeah. Okay. It's called Dionysus on the Dole.
Dionysus on the
Dole.
on the dole.
Yeah. Go. I wear a masquerade ball mask, and I'm trailed by melancholy nymphs. Well, bipolar mums, that is. Riding the south wind down the town, leaving mayhem in my wake. The coppers are easy to ditch, hardly awake, on the take. For those who have not the strength to conquer, their only hope lies in surrender. Wine flows freely on my lips. We come in gulps, never sips, breaking the balustrade by life's river, making sure they all fall in. Ecstasy, silence, pandemonium, and sin. I am the fateful diver, morose machismo, door-shattering lethargy, insidious, inviolate, in flame, a spur of destruction and rebirth. And that's just this cutthroat economy. Collecting my welfare checks, of course. I don't need a job. Thanks, cold shoulder. Sure of the insanity plea, I just grow bolder.
Maximilius.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get that
on Amazon, is that right?
Dr. Mad Max quotes.
Dr. Mad Max quotes by Max Louis.
Venerable Head Doctor. Yeah.
From the Venerable Head Doctor.
I forgot my coat.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a bit. If you want to ask Jabz anything, feel free to butt in as well.
Thank you.
Jabz, obviously, aside from the rapping, there's been the beatboxing. Was that a feature from the beginning, and what got you into that?
That's actually quite mad because I can't definitively remember ever starting. And going back to the hazardous hip hop days when it was my cousin and my friend Wes and Mike's, we used to go down a beach, get smoked up for like 2 a.m, just freestyling before these battles happened in the Monkey Bar. It was like a good year or two. Obviously, I couldn't freestyle to begin with, and this is where I got my freestyling talent from. Was just sitting in the car with these two, taking the piss out on me for about an hour, and then I'd try and come back and I like just about get 2 lines out, you know, just about bust 1 rhyme. But then after like a couple of weeks or a couple of months, it become a few lines, and then it become a few bars, and until, you know, sometimes you go for minutes. But I think it was because of them times we didn't really have instrumentals, so I just do like a bit of beatboxing for the boys to do their freestyles over, and I've stayed with it all this time, just like basic beatboxing. But again, 5-6 years ago, just before about a year or 2 before joining Clusterfuck, I saw the beatboxing world championships and I was just blown away. It was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
So I started following it a bit more and building it up, my skills, because I used to do what I just used to call humming and drumming. You're just basically making like a little noise and then putting some drums behind it. I didn't think of any different effects like vibrations and lip rolls and all these types of different things. But for like the past 4 or 5 years, I just got a lot more into it, and yeah, just practice a lot more.
Do you think you could bust us some beatboxing today? Like, is that right?
Yeah.
I might use this mic as well as that one. If that's cool.
How's it sounding in the headphones?
Do you want to put it on yourself or sound wicked?
No, it's all right. It's right, is it?
Yeah, it sounds really good.
How's that?
A little bit peaky, but yeah, that's good there. It sounds wicked.
Thank you for that specimen, sir. Well, I can't do anything like that.
Do you have a question for Jabz? I know you've not met him before, but anything you want to ask him?
Where does may I ask where your name comes from? Is it to intimidate the tiny little specimens?
Yeah, that is quite funny actually, because I've had this name since I was like 1 year old.
Right.
The story goes, it was my mum and dad's very good friend, a guy called Ronnie Green, who was a Thai boxing world champion, and he kind of noticed my initials signed out JAB. So from then it became Jabz. But yeah, there's many awkward conversations going to like new friends' houses when you're 12, 13 years old, and they don't know if you're like some sort of ruffian boxer or a heroin addict.
Yeah, what inspired me?
Or even worse, a qualified doctor. If you don't mind me saying that.
What inspired me?
One of those at a child's party, but
What inspired me to become a rapper was Rainbow. I love it. Yeah. Everybody wants to be bongo. A bongo. Bongo, bongo, bongo. Carry on. As he was saying.
So obviously the in the news at the moment, it's all about the jabs, isn't it? Yeah. Do people mention that too much?
Yeah, well, my missus says she don't need a job because she's already got it.
Do you feel ahead of the curve? Did you feel ahead of the curve with that name and the world following, to manifest your you're in, I don't know, in line with your wonderful name.
Yeah, I see what I mean.
Yes.
It did become stick to use as a feature as a rapper.
Yeah.
You know, it was already set in stone.
Have you noticed? Have you had noticed any different reactions from people with that name over the last year and a half since the Jabz became more?
Oh no, nothing like that. Never since in recent times. Just only as a kid growing up.
Sorry. Right. Cool. Thank you.
Can we have some more performance from you?
Yeah.
Can you do like beatbox and rap, or is that like completely impossible? And a bit of flute in the background from Bongo.
I don't know if I can beatbox and rap at the same time.
No, I don't think so, mate.
Fluty muck tooter.
There was one you done with a lyric in it at one time. Didn't I hear that sometime? There was like words in the put the beats.
Yeah, it's not. It's more like the Rozelle stuff for singing and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I can give you a little taste of that.
Yeah, a little taste of that, bro.
I used to practice it as a kid, and I never got anywhere until like a couple of years ago. But yeah, the speaking of rapping, it's like. Your mother bone, clean up. If your mother bone, clean up.
That was absolutely amazing.
I hope it comes out that good on the show.
What a talent. Absolutely amazing. So, what was it like working on the Clusterfuck album? I got the album, Camel Toe.
Yeah, I was pretty gutted about that. I love the album, but we were working on a couple of things, but I only ended up getting the one track on there. We only released like a 10-track album, and we were going to be putting some more stuff on the next album. But obviously, that's not going to be happening now. But yeah, we had some really good stuff in the pipeline for that one. Hopefully still to be released, just under a different name. Some good lyrics.
That one, the gangster one,
Outlaw.
on the Outlaw, I thought was, and still do, is absolutely a fucking banger.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah, can you give me a little touch of that?
I wrote that over November, December, and then in February we performed it live in a pub called the Hanbury in Swansea.
Yeah.
And it's 3 decent-sized verses plus the chorus, so it's a lot to learn in a month or two to get it down to a T.
See.
But turn up at this pub just randomly, didn't know this was going to happen at all, and pull up at the back, and there's 2 bikers out the back with outlaw jackets on. The bike gang frequent the pub. I'm doing a song called The Outlaw, and
It was fucking brilliant. And
God moves in mysterious ways.
yeah.
Yes. Just to say that performance there made more sense to me than all my medical records put together.
yeah, and yeah, I just thought that was class. I listened to the track, and it was just the rhythmic content, the content of it, the way your delivery, the way it was put together is just, it's like banging. Yeah, look out for that album, Camel Toe, and a track on there called Outlaw.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp, Camel Toe Disco, isn't it?
Camel Toe Disco.
Clusterfuck.
And you can get that on Tantrum Records.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google it up and go to Tantrum Records and get that album, Camel Toe. It's a banger. There's another track on there which I told you already was like, remind me of that Donna Summer styley.
What's that called? Track 1 on it.
Yeah,
that one.
it's a fucking banger.
Oh, right, is one.
Yeah, Shag's one, first track in it.
First stage is
Was it?
easier for
Yeah.
camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven.
Yeah, to enter.
Correct. To enter heaven.
It's harder.
So,
Yeah.
I said it's easier. Is it easier or harder?
Harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle.
Do you know why that is?
Why?
Because the rich are already in heaven. Yeah, they're already in heaven. They're already rich. Yeah.
Then give me some of the fucking money then. Give me some of the money. Yeah. Yeah. Was there any arguments putting that album together? Any? Yeah.
No, not arguments. It didn't take a long time, but we were just trying to decide on a name for a while. No arguments.
How did he come up with the name Camel Toe Disco?
Was that Pestis? Or was it you?
I think I suggested it and then regretted suggesting it.
Yeah, I thought it was either you or him. But
Yeah, I suggested
guessing
it
was you.
as a joke, but then I got outvoted and it became the fucking name of the album. I didn't want to call it that. Like, I wanted to call it Death Begins.
Yeah.
but it's Camel Toe Disco. Oh well,
Who
my
done
own
it?
fault.
Is it the Dark Angel?
That's on the first album.
First album. That one really struck me, man.
I've got that tatted, but there, Dark Angel.
Can you hold it up?
Show the camera, bro.
Show the camera, bro. Put it up there.
That's for Jill.
That's for Jill. Flaky. Yeah, Dark Angel. It's an amazing track. And
Yeah, that's a cover. That track is by Benny Joy. It's a little known rockabilly track from the early 50s. So a big shout out to Benny Joy, classic fucking track. That's our own take on it. But yeah, nice one.
and I love that one. Is it music like dirt?
Yeah, boy.
That and the video on that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of the more popular ones as well, isn't it? Music like dirt.
Yeah, not many people like
It's a slammer.
tracks.
Oh, the video to me was absolutely brilliant. I think people were just like frightened of its brilliance, you know, because normally people have a journey with the band. They start off in black t-shirts, yeah, like that, with hardly any movement and whatever, and slowly they come up and their audience get used to them. But that track was like something that just had come straight off MTV out of nowhere, and they, you know, a new band name, new thing that they, you know, people just, yeah, they get, I don't know what it is, but sometimes with British people, they get frightened of something that they don't know. Yeah, they're very skeptical. Yeah, we live in the era of the 3 C's, and I think Wales is bringing it which is change, complexity, and competition. With our environment and what's being put out, there ain't no competition, because finding the music market a lot these days, right? There is no sense of direction. Things are all over the place, and this, that, the other, and a lot of people are going back for the 80s and the 90s, yeah, early 90s tracks and stuff now, because it's just like there's nothing. Now and again, you get some, yeah, odd banging tunes, but there's the consistency doesn't seem to be there. What do you think about that, Jabz?
Well, for years, there's not really been anything great commercially, is it? It's all everything you've got to look for yourself, you know, underground type of things if you want the good stuff.
Yeah. And you're definitely on it, man. I mean, you know, as I said, the Dark Angel from the first album and this, that, the other, and there's a lot of people out there missing out, man. You know, they're missing out on some phenomenal music coming out of this stable. Check Tantrum Records out and look who they have signed and the independent label and the shit coming out.
The shit, including your new album coming soon.
When it's been
Featuring Jabz.
mixed down. And yeah, Jabz, you have to come on next one. I got 2 coming out actually. One's called Death Has No Name, co-produced by Frank Norton. They're at T. Droog Studios, Grangetown, and another album called Gatekeeper, with tracks like Try from Peru, they call it Punka Punka. You take ayahuasca, you got a Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. And oh Lord, they want a bodyguard. Boy, that is big and broad. Yes, I'm broad, so they send feed the bodyguard. Be made well, him no crack up in a him shell. Through the tempest and storm, cause he is a earth angel. Angel, hell. Sing say, oh Lord, they want a bodyguard. A big bad boy. Yeah. So that's on Gatekeeper. So they should be out when they're finished.
I literally met a woman on the street who was called Angel yesterday. Isn't that a wonderful coincidence?
Oh yeah, Angel. Yeah, she was outside McDonald's.
Yeah.
She's back there. I met her as well. Yeah. And how did you find her?
Oh, she seemed very nice. Yeah. I think protective spirit of some kind. I should have to remember which kind of protective spirit she was in like the table, but I'm not sure. There's different. It's like medicine. Like there's completely different categories of angels, but it's just,
So she's an
well, and it's a medicine. There's like about there's like there's about 1,567, but in terms into the angelic realm, there's probably only about 765. But it's like so we like to keep it simple because too much complexity is of the devil. It's like,
is of the one with the horns. So she's an angel delight. Yeah. Have you ever seen an angel before?
No.
Finn.
The end. So we haven't got long left on the show now because the battery's about to pop. So should we have an outro from Jabz? Maybe
Yes,
one of your favorite rhymes. Maybe a few bars if you can. Keep it going while I turn off the show. Do you want to spit us like a 16? A 32, bro.
Put me on the spot note.
I'll warm you up.
Yeah, go on. I'm just trying to think of one of my verses.
Today's gonna be the day I bust my gun in your face. Right now,
Hey, that was
Patrick
my
Moore. What?
I'm joking.
Today's gonna be the day I bust my gun in your face. Right now, Patrick Moore's gonna take you for a journey into space. If you look just behind the belt of Orion, you'll see a coconut with holes in. Me bust me gun underwater, water resistant, like Accuracy, like Jabz it persistent. Dun, 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 dun. Me bust me gun underwater, water resistant, coming like Jabz. Yes, very persistent. Today is the day I'm gonna bust my gun in your face. Right now, gonna wipe you out the human race. TAFAD TAN.
Every fucker left the chat. Go on, bro.
I see if I remember it.
1 second. So that's the end of the show. So that's MC Jabz from Swansea. Check out the shit on Clusterfuck. Google Clusterfuck. Anything else? Anywhere else they can find you?
No.
Safe.
I'm hammering, no stammering, you're clamoring over my grammar thing, no tampering with the talent I bring, get managing with the pampering of a champion, got me a hankering to let this banger begin, to anger to sin, in a deadly combination of gnarly and spit, talk some shit, see how darkly I get, butterfly sharps my wit, you couldn't find a better guy with 1,000 eyes magnified or anyone to testify that I am a bitch.
Booyah!